Barça are the Spanish Supercup champions. Sergio Busquets lifting the title, the first trophy of the Chavi era after beating Real Madrid in a super final. 3-1, a game that Barça absolutely dominated. Celebrations tonight here on Barça Live and at the King Fahd Stadium in Riyadh. First of all, we would like to say that we are very sorry that we're coming to you later than usual. This comes as a result of the right to strike of TBSC workers, of which I'm a part, and many members of our technical team as well. We would have wanted to come to you on our live usual broadcast, celebrating every single Barca goal with you, but sometimes there are more important things such as fighting for better working conditions, which is what we're currently doing here. Nevertheless, we are happy that Barca have won their first title of the season, and we will continue to work passionately following and informing you of the successes of our club. Hopefully there'll be many this season. Tonight, as we said, Spanish Supercup champions beating the eternal rival Real Madrid. A super performance, goals by Xavi, Lewandowski and Pedri, giving us the win, the first title of the Chavi era. Irati Vidal, Spencer Siegel, what a night.
What a night. It was incredible, just not only for the title, but the way the team played and the fact that it was Real Madrid in front and Real Madrid didn't have any chance unless that one they had in the last minute. So incredible night to start this new era with a trophy.
Spence.
I know, so much fun, right? Just from start to finish, utter dominance. Yeah, I think I might have preferred to see a 0 at the end under Madrid's scoreline, but you know what? Win's a win, baby. Like, that was so much fun.
Well, we have our pitchside reporter, Bruno Ballester. He was there during the celebrations. Bruno, tell us all about it.
Well, guys, an impressive celebration here at the King Fahd Stadium. What a night to be a Barca fan. Finally, after that Copa del Rey that the team won under Ronald Koeman, this has been the first title of the Xavi era. This is Spanish Super Cup after an incredible battle and against the eternal rival Real Madrid. What a game that has been today, the one that we have experienced here in Riyadh. Has been the first trophy as a professional player for many of our players, and of course the celebrations have been incredible ones between the team, between the staff, also the board members, guys. And as you may imagine, it's gonna be a long night in the plane, and of course also in the arrival to Barcelona on Monday morning. Barca are the new Spanish Super Cup champions, the first one that they win in this new format and the 14th of the club's history.
Thank you, Bruno. We'll come back to you in a few minutes. We want to ask you fans a simple question. Who was the best player of the game? I get a sense that there'll be lots of votes for our first option, Gavi, but there were impressive performances as well of Pedri, Lewandowski, Frankie de Jong as well. I'm not going to ask you guys, Irati and Spence, because we'll do man of the match votes later.
Okay.
But let's just one quick comment on Gavi's performance tonight.
Yeah, I think there's no words for Gavi's performance because we have seen many good performances of Gavi, but I feel this is the one. Like, this is the one that's saying Gavi is here and look the edge he has. Like, he has still a lot to improve. And he was not only that Gavi that always battles, giving the energy to the team. He was always also assisting, also scoring in front of Thibaut Courtois, that is one of the best goalkeepers of the goal. So it was like the perfect performance of Gavi, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with you that I'd forever been saying now, can we stop highlighting that Gavi is a warrior and how much effort he puts into things and the energy that he brings. He's very good on the ball as well, and tonight finally we saw a super complete performance from Gavi in every single sense of the word.
Well, the question that's on our screen right now has been answered by a lot of people, and there are a lot of people saying Gavi. Just to name a few: TW Edits, Pro Football King, Alexander, Ercuenca, Clara, Legendary Hat Dude says Gavi. And the only thing that I want to just highlight, I think we can talk about so many things about his performance tonight, but my only question is, how old is he?
18, right?
That's 18. It's unfathomable to me that he's doing what he's doing at the highest level at such a young age.
Let's go and see what he did. Let's take a look at the goals of this game. 3 great goals that Barca scored. The first one coming off of great pressure from Sergio Busquets. getting the ball to Dembélé, Dembélé to Lewandowski, and Lewandowski found Xavi to put it past Thibaut Courtois.
The energy of the youngsters celebrating said how much this title were meaning for them. But I would say tonight, we also have to highlight Busquets because he's our captain. He has been highly criticized when things go wrong, and today he did a really good performance and also got that first title as a first captain of the team. And this first goal starts with his pressure.
Yeah, second goal there. Also with Busquets involved. That's a great stretch pass from Frenkie de Jong. And here everyone was going, Xavi, why are you going wide? No, that's what he was trying to do. Just give himself a little bit of advantage to put the perfect cross in for Robert Lewandowski.
Well, and both of the goals, these first two in the first half, were because Xavi was playing so far up the pitch. And I think one of the things that, we always talk about with Xavi is that he's always running everywhere and he's playing everywhere. But if you position him in such a way that Chavi has done tonight, along with the other midfielders, where you also have Busquets, Frenkie, and Pedri on the pitch, he can then get forward without having to worry about what's behind him, link up with Lewandowski, link up with Pedri from behind. I mean, the goals that they scored tonight were a result of that.
Xavi recovering the ball here. Lewandowski, Xavi, and then at the far post, Pedri completes the 3-goal fest for Football Club Barcelona. 2 goals coming from high recoveries, and the subsequent transition. Xavi involved in all 3 of them. He was voted MVP of the game by the Spanish Federation, and I have an inkling here that we might vote him MVP ourselves here on the live show. I want to ask our fans as well, which one was your favorite goal? Was it Xavi's? Was it Lewandowski's? Or was it Pedri's? I'm inclined to say maybe the first one, Xavi's.
Yeah, I think the first one for the pressure, for the moment, because it was the first one, also the celebration of Xavi, the first goal of Xavi in the Super Cup, so I would go for the first one.
Yeah, the most emotional goal was the first one, but in terms of the aesthetics, what I loved was how it started from Busquets' turn to then Frenkie, who had to lunge for it to get it on its way. It went forward. Xavi had to take that one extra touch, as you mentioned, Robert, wide. Lewandowski isn't going to miss from there. And yeah, it was a near perfect night, with one exception. It was a near perfect night.
I would argue that this goal should have been disallowed because Nacho's right in the.
We would be arguing it differently if it was a different scoreline.
Yeah, I think
whatever.
Yeah, but it is true that the law is the law, and I think Nacho was just in front of Ter Stegen, and normally that is disallowed, but luckily it didn't matter.
We have reactions coming from the King Fahd Stadium in Riyadh. Our head coach, Xavi Hernández, talking to our colleague, Marc Brau.
Bé, sí, clar, significa molt. Espero que no sigui l'últim, però d'aquest mandat de tota la vida, no? El primer, pel que significa també, això ens dona tranquil·litat, moral, confiança pel projecte. Molt content pels jugadors, molt content per la Junta, molt content pel barcelonisme en general, l'afició que sempre ha estat amb nosaltres. I nosaltres que no hem deixat de treballar, de creure que podien sortir partits com aquests. N'hem fet uns quants des que fa un any vaig agafar el càrrec d'entrenador i avui és el partit perfecte, no? Una final contra el Madrid, amb un títol en joc, molt content, molt satisfet, especialment per als espectadors.
Ha sortit a la perfecció el pla que havíeu traçat, heu tornat a col·locar avui Xavi a l'esquerra, Pedri una miqueta més centrat, no tant com el Metropolitano. Ha sortit el que havíeu plantejat?
Doncs et diria que ha sortit a la perfecció, no? Ho ha entès molt bé, quan van entre línies, quan tira el balde, la superioritat dins amb 4 migcampistes. Hem dominat tot el partit, la primera part ha sigut excel·lent, la segona potser ens hem defensat una mica més, el Madrid ja ens ha dominat en certes fases del joc, però bé, molt satisfet, no? Els jugadors han estat a un nivell extraordinari, per això estic molt especialment content per ells.
Xavi, si pot ser un punt d'inflexió aquest títol. L'any passat, tot i la derrota, tu vas dir hem demostrat que podem tornar a competir. En el mateix escenari aquí, el Barça torna a guanyar. Sobretot més que el títol, la manera com ho heu fet és la que us ha de fer creure en el projecte?
Tant de bo sigui un punt d'inflexió, no? Ara no ens...
I definitely think it's going to be a turning point. We've shown in a final against Madrid,
doncs ho hem de demostrar ara a Ceuta el dijous.
and we need to show this on Thursday, we need to show it next weekend against Getafe. This really boosts us as the staff and the players.
El barcelonisme jo crec que dona molta tranquil·litat.
And for the fans, I think this is going to give us a lot of calm to keep working.
última pregunta en català. A l'entrevista a Barça TV, Xavi, vas dir Gavi i Pedri són millors que l'Andrés i jo a la meva edat. Ho dius per partits com els d'avui?
Doncs sí, els dos han estat
You said that Gavi and Pedri are better than you and Iniesta at your age. Do you think that's true? Yeah, I think it's the case. I think at 18 years old, it's amazing to be at his level. I'm really happy for Gavi because he's great, and Pedri, of course, extraordinary. Frankie de Jong was great. Busquets. It wouldn't be right to single out a single player.
This Supercup, what does it mean for the team, and especially if you want to send a message for the fans who are very happy tonight after 2 years, very difficult?
Yes, we are very happy, very satisfied. It means a lot for the supporters, for the club, for this project, for us as a staff, for the players. I'm really happy for the players, especially for the players. Since I took the team as a coach, since the first day, they work really well and really hard. So today, it's a perfect final for us. I'm really happy.
Gràcies, Xavi. Enhorabona.
Gràcies.
El primer de molts.
Gràcies.
Les paraules de Xavi Hernández, que ens ha volgut atendre després de guanyar el seu primer títol.
Words there of our head coach, Xavi Hernández, obviously very happy to have won his first title as a football club of Barcelona coach, the first of many. We hope. He said the game plan came out almost perfect.
Yeah, and I would say that is something that Xavi today won the battle to Ancelotti, because it has been highlighted a lot of what Ancelotti has done with Real Madrid, but I think today with the lineup, with the system the team was playing and everything, every battle was won by Xavi Hernández. So we have to also acknowledge that it was Xavi Hernández's fault that the team played like this today. And I think it was very smart playing with those 4 midfielders, giving more space in that wing to Gavi, and then I think the motivation of all the team everything was perfect today.
Irati mentioned the 4 midfielders, Spence. The feeling is that they outplayed Real Madrid's midfield.
They certainly did. I mean, there were times, especially in the second half, when Barça were just knocking the ball around amidst each other, and you could see all 10 outfield players from Madrid were just kind of standing there, not really aware of what they could do about it. And this, to me, this victory, I think it validates a lot of what Xavi has been doing, as you heard him say from the beginning, because this Supercopa is a product also of last year. The fact that I know the format has changed, right? So they didn't win a trophy last year, but they got here because of their second place finish. We were wondering last year whether or not they would get into the top 4. Once they locked that up after their win against Betis, Xavi said, okay, the next thing we're going for is to get to the second spot so we can be here. They did that, and they've proven that they can beat anybody in the world.
This obviously doesn't end here, as Xavi said. I mean, right now we need to prove it. Next game against Ceuta, following game in La Liga against Getafe. I want you on the live chat to let us know, how happy are you for Xavi Hernández that he's won his first title? Right, some messages in support of our head coach, Xavi Hernández. Spence will be reading some of them out. Irati, I felt that one of the differences today as well was that Barca weren't so reliant on the individual actions of Ousmane Dembélé. You got the feeling sometimes that we were just swinging the ball out to the wing, relying on Dembélé to come out with something, or Rafinha whenever Rafinha was playing, and then create from there. Today there was more involvement of Pedri, of Frankie de Jong, of Gavi, even Sergio Busquets, and that was what allowed Barca to thrive.
Yeah, and for that I would repeat of what Xavi did, putting those 4 midfielders, because when Barca has won many titles is when the battle of the midfield was won by Barca and dominate that scene, and then to connect with the strikers, like just not rely on them. So I think Barca has done perfectly that today, because it was like Pedri, Gavi, Busquets and Frankie de Jong dominating all this scene, and Real Madrid had nothing to do there. And then when the superiority was created, then connect with Dembélé and connect with Lewandowski and find that. But first create that superiority.
Well, and we got so, I think, over the last year or two, we got so caught up in the idea of Barca's 4-3-3, which is, you know, you get your 4 in the back line, you got your 3 midfielders, and then you put Dembélé, Rafinha, Ferran, Ansu, Lewandowski, Aubameyang, whoever it was at the top 3. But Barca's strength is their midfield. And that there's no reason that, because 4 of their best players are midfielders, that they shouldn't have them all out there at the same time. And I thought tonight was a perfect example.
To me, it was interesting today that we'd seen the 4 midfielders approach before in the season, but it was Pedri who played more as the false left winger. Today it was Gavi, and that seemed to work very well.
He wasn't a false left winger. He was the last person on the line for 2 of those goals that he was led right in for. It was beautiful.
The other aspect of today's game, of course, is, yes, okay, we conceded a goal, but how solid Barca were at the back. The goal came in the last action of the game. That defence with Araujo playing as right back, we'll talk about that in a second. The battle with Vinicius, I think he completely annulled him. Then Koundé, Christensen, two of the signings of this season. Christensen's been absolutely outstanding since returning from the World Cup. And Spence, we do need to embrace the Balde.
We embrace the ball, man, from day one. This kid is just as good, and he's 18, 19 too, right? I think he's 19 now. It's that might. I don't like saying things like this, but I think we saw Barca's best 11 on the pitch today. From one position to the next, I think the best 11 players played as a unit, and keep this in mind, right? This blew my mind when I heard it, is that Carlo Ancelotti hasn't lost a final since 2014. Madrid haven't lost a final since 2013. And that's what Barca did tonight. They took them both down.
I see a comment here from Sid. Balde's run overtaking Carvajal and the pass to Dembele, if that goal goes in, it's the best goal. I remember that action at the beginning of the second half. But Balde in space tonight was outstanding.
Yeah, like that one, I saw it repeated on Twitter before, and it just like he understands perfectly what he has to do there, and then he has more strength, more speed than Carvajal, and find that space. But he has also been solid in defense. Like when he had two defense, he was defended pretty well. So I feel like we have seen many good games of Balde, but as we said before with Gavi, today was the one. Like he completely that and say, okay, I'm here to stay in the starting 11.
I mentioned it briefly a moment ago, but I'd like you to raise your hand on the live chat if you enjoyed the battle between Ronald Araujo and Vinicius. It wasn't much of a battle. I mean, it was just Araujo completely annihilating him.
We didn't see Vinicius at all. I feel that there was also that mental battle that Araujo also won in the first minutes, like entering there to Vinicius, knowing that Vinicius is a player that can be lost mentally easily, and as we saw in the Clásico last year, Araujo got annihilating Vinicius, and he repeated today perfectly.
Yeah, the idea that you can put Araujo, Koundé, Christensen, those three specifically, anywhere essentially along the back line, flipping Koundé and Araujo if you need to, tonight showed that Barca, especially in defense too, we knew about the midfield and the attack, but especially in defense, they have this ability to be flexible based on what they see with their opponents. And yeah, limiting Vinicius is the #1 priority, because you've already got two other people who can handle Benzema.
And Real Madrid did have a couple of opportunities. There's a Benzema header in the first half, which could have changed the narrative of the game had it have gone in, but fortunately for Barca, it went wide. Apart from that, I don't remember another Real Madrid chance in the first half. I think Barca were very solid in defending, and then there was a couple of saves from ter Stegen, who did well to keep things at 0 until the very end.
Yeah, he also appeared. He was a hero in the semi-finals and being through the game, and also in that penalties. And today he appeared when the team needed to. Like, there were no many chances, and I would say like it was not only that there were no chances. Like Madrid you didn't have the feeling like Madrid was dangerous at all.
In fact, I'm seeing the stats on our screens right now, right underneath us here, and it says 12 shots to Barca, 6 on target, 11 to Real Madrid, 6 on target. That doesn't feel like it reflects the game. I think many of Real Madrid's shots came late in the game, weren't all that dangerous. They came once it was already 3-0. So sometimes you look at the numbers of the game and they don't entirely reflect what it is.
Or the passes, for that matter, too. That surprises me, actually, to see that the number of passes that Madrid had.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think that Barca completely outplayed Real Madrid today. The only player who we haven't mentioned is one who scored the second goal tonight, and that was Robert Lewandowski. In the game at the Bernabeu earlier on this season in La Liga, I think he got... well, he was very well defended by Militao. It was very tough for him. Tonight it was more of a battle, and Robert Lewandowski scored one, had that chance which hits the post after Courtois saves it. and he was very tough to deal with for the Real Madrid defense.
Yeah, and I think there was more space for him because Madrid was focused on winning that battle in the midfield and opened that field over there, and then Gavi was also pressing in the left, and that brings some other defenders, and Lewandowski had like more freedom, and after that like difficult semi-final, I would say, for him, he scored the one that always scores, like it's those ones that you know that if you throw it to Lewandowski, he would never fail, but he was also working and linking there with Gavi, with Frankie de Jong and everything, and I would say it has been a complete game by him.
Spence, some comments.
I just want to shout out Jusu, who says, this is one of my happiest days for Chavi to win his first trophy for Barcelona. I hope he wins the rest of the trophies this year and Barça for life. And I think I'm seeing a lot of very happy folks today, but also happy for Chavi, I think, because there's always going to be naysayers out there.
Yeah.
No matter what. And these are the types of days where the people who have been backing their guy for as long as they've needed to can come forward with the pure joy. That's what today is about.
And we know how it goes. The results will dictate the majority's emotions on how we feel about the
That's football.
team. But this victory makes us feel a little bit more vindicated. It's one of those which I think, as culés, we need to appreciate more, because I was starting to hear today, oh, well, but Real Madrid didn't really care about this trophy. Well, we did. And I think Real Madrid never want to lose to Barça, and that we went out there and whooped their behinds is something that we need to value. It's a title. If we lose it, we would be talking about this being an absolute disaster. Well, we wouldn't, but fans would be talking
and it would be 13-13 in the Supercup all time.
Yeah. But I think we won a trophy, and we won it against Real Madrid. So let's celebrate it, let's value it. Real Madrid didn't enjoy losing tonight to Barca. Real Madrid haven't started 2023 well. We need to take advantage of that in La Liga as well. Much has been said about this Supercopa now being in the middle of the season, how this can be, as they call here, a punto de inflexión, a turning point for Barca to help us boost even more.
Yeah, and we have heard Chavi saying, like, I hope it is like that, because I think it's really important, because this beginning of the year, it's true that Barca was winning, but was struggling a lot. The feelings were not really good because the game was not coming as probably we expected and as Xavi was expecting. So this can be like that turning point for Barca, for the motivation, knowing that Manchester United is also coming in the end of the month and knowing what it comes, but also for Real Madrid, because we have to remember that the battle we have in La Liga is with Real Madrid in the top of the position. So that can also be that turning for them, because they haven't started well, and I don't think they value and mentally will be good for them losing a final against Barca.
I like this comment from Sid. It says, thank you, Chelsea, for Christensen. What a steal.
Yeah, no kidding. You might not have believed that, you know, Christensen and Rudiger were both signed from Chelsea to a team in La Liga, and based on the price differential, the differential of production so far has been a lot closer than everything else. And by the way, this team that we saw tonight, which is bringing out so much joy for us, it also, to me, I think for some fans, it kind of gives them a question mark, because they go, well, what happened during the game against Intercity? Or what, you know, now what they need to do...
Those games are always tough.
Well, and so
those games are always tough.
So, but now what you need to do is you need to come out the way that they did tonight, which was just exquisite from start to finish, and do that against Ceuta, do that against Getafe, do that against Girona. Like, those are the types of games they should be winning, and this tonight proved that they can do that against anybody.
I completely agree. The one thing that this team needs to improve now is being more consistent and being better throughout the whole 90 minutes. We've seen good stretches of football from Barca. For example, at the Metropolitano, it was the first 20 minutes, but then Barca, after scoring, kind of got outplayed. 75. We were watching the game together, Irati. I don't know where Spence was. Minute 75. Barca start moving the ball around. When you're 3-0 up and the opponent is not giving up, but kind of, Barca started to move the ball around for 2 minutes until Rodrigo just went into Sergio Busquets and said, look, I'm putting an end to it, and just kicked him down. But they looked comfortable. They looked comfortable on the ball, and that's what we need to see more of.
Yeah, but I think that also comes like we are talking like, yeah, Gavi's super young, Balde's super young, Pedri. When the team is that young, that happens, that it goes like a roller coaster, and you have to find that point that comes with experience. And we are talking this game today. They were highly motivated, because for many of them it's the first title with the Barça shirt, and that's why we saw that game. But it can happen because they are that young that in another team it doesn't flow the way it came today.
And look, it is easy to forget that these kids are 19. Gavi and Pedri, the two best players on the pitch probably tonight, are 19 and 18. It was a lovely image when they both went off at the same time, just kind of like hugging each other as mates. Ansu Fati with the cup in his hand on the image on screen today. He didn't play until the very end, but he had a stellar moment in the semi-finals, helped us through to this final with that cracking goal against Real Betis. So let's see if Ansu Fati can kind of go on the upward as well from now until the end of the season. Right, we've given you our views of the game. Let's go back to the King Fahd Stadium. Bruno, what did you think of the game?
It has been an incredible match, guys, here at the King Fahd Stadium between Barcelona and Real Madrid. El Clásico played here in Saudi Arabia, that has started really well for Barça, dominating, especially on midfield. Today playing with our four midfielders, Frenkie de Jong, Sergio Busquets, Gavi and Pedri. The team dominating, creating the chances, and the goal, the first one, has arrived thanks to Gavi after a fantastic move. And then after scoring the first goal, Real Madrid has also started having their chances. A good header from Benzema. The game was there in an equal moment, but then has been the moment of the 2-0 up for FC Barcelona after an incredible recovery from Frenkie de Jong. Gavi finding a brilliant assist for Lewandowski, and has been the 2-0 for Barça, just seconds away from the final whistle of the first half of the referee. So in a crucial moment, Barça mentally has been able to score this second goal when also was suffering a little bit. So with 2-0 up at halftime, second half has continued in a fantastic way for FC Barcelona. Pedri has been the man to score the 3-0, and there practically the game has been closed. In the final minute, Benzema has scored a goal that hasn't had the importance, of course, in the scoring in the result in the end. That has been to have Barça crowned as the champions of this Spanish Supercup. The team needed this win. The team needed this confidence. It's the first trophy of a season where, of course, the Blaugranas are also competing for the league, the Copa del Rey, and also the European competition. So this has been, I think, a fantastic way to continue this month of January that is going to be really, really busy. But an impressive win today, a trophy, and also against Real Madrid in El Clásico. So fantastic news, guys, and we are, of course, all really excited here at the King Fahd Stadium.
Absolutely fantastic news. Let's take another look at the goals of this game. The scoring opened by Gavi in the 33rd minute. The youngster scoring his first ever goal in a Clásico and in a final. I mean, to produce this kind of performance in a final as well, it's not, obviously it's not a major trophy, but it is
it's a trophy
of where Gavi is in his career right now.
It's a trophy, and we were talking when we were watching the game in the other studio with some of the other fine Catalan folks around here. We were wondering how many goals has Gavi scored now in a first-team kit, and it would be Elche,
Atletico de Madrid,
Atleti, and this game. And is that it? He hasn't scored this year before that.
Scored this season, no.
So this kind of performance, and especially the reaction when he's grabbing, the crest, and he's just holding it up, like, that's just classic Gavi. Now it makes you love him even more.
Oh, here he is setting up the second goal. There was that moment, Irati, in which we're all going, why is he going wide?
Yeah,
go inside, take the shot.
We didn't understand, but he knew clearly what to do. I think also he brought Rudiger with him and give also more space to Lewandowski there. And that pass is brilliant. I read before that he's the youngest player in the history of a Clásico to score an assist against Real Madrid. So that makes it all.
And like this example here, he's just running along the back line, and he even holds his run for a second.
Because otherwise he would have been offside. It's really tight.
He's running like a winger. I mean, he really did play like that tonight.
It's the third goal off of a Gavi recovery. Lewandowski finds him on the left. There was no offside, and he sets up his pal Pedri.
These two guys are good friends, aren't they?
Oh, they are.
They like playing with each other.
And we've seen 3 goals. There were chances for more. Lewandowski hits the post after the Courtois save. Dembélé has a great chance at the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, it could have been more, totally. Like, indeed, you see 1-3 as a result, and I would say maybe it was more like fair, like 0-4 or 0-5, because Barça was dominating and creating those chances. It was not like a flash goals we had there. And still, every time I see this goal, I think it should have not counted.
I think it shouldn't have counted, and I think it's a shame, because obviously it's nice to keep a clean sheet, especially against Real Madrid. By the way, Ter Stegen, what a save!
Yeah.
What a save from Ter Stegen.
I didn't see that save. I thought it was more simple, but what a save. He also did another save, really important. I think it was beginning of the second half, I would say.
I remember a save when he stretches out. It was towards the end.
I think it was the Asensio shot.
Yeah, the Asensio shot towards the end of the game. Right, a reminder of the question that we were asking you before. Who was your MVP tonight? Was it Gavi? Was it Pedri? Was it Lewandowski? Those are the 3 scorers. Was it someone else? I thought that Frankie de Jong had a very good game as well. He could be a candidate. Any of the back 4, and truthfully, Balde especially. Let us know on the live chat. We're going to listen to what one of them had to say in the press room. That is Gavi, the scorer of our first goals. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Turno de pregunta a Sergi. Damos la enhorabuena a Gavi por este MVP, elegido por el seleccionador nacional Luis de la Fuente. Ya tenéis al futbolista del Barça a vuestra disposición. Marta.
Hola Gavi, aquí Marta Ramon en directe al Barça Jugar RAC1. Felicitats pel títol. Què significa per tu?
What does this trophy mean to you? What does it mean to you to be so important at just 18 years old in this trophy? Thank you. Good night. I'm very happy with my first trophy at the club. I'm happy.
Gavi, Xavi, Elena Condis de la cadena COPE, enhorabuena. Xavi te definió como un...
Chavi has defined you as just the heart of this side. How would you describe yourself? I define myself as a player who gives everything for the team. I try and give the utmost for the team, and I'm happy. Is this a dream final for you, or maybe even better? A goal, 2 assists. It's a perfect game. Everybody's seeing you as a player with a great future ahead. I'm happy above all for the victory, for the goal and the assists, but most of all I'm happy with the victory. I've still got a lot to improve. I think I'm doing really well, and I want to continue improving. Beating Real Madrid and winning in this way is a dream game. I'd imagine you celebrated a lot. Yes, it's a Clásico, it's a final as well, and it's against Madrid. So of course we celebrated to the fullest.
Hola Gavi, soy Juan Jiménez de AS. Aquí. Le pregunté un día a Luis Enrique, que siempre comparaba a Pedri con Iniesta, ¿quién se podía parecer Gavi?
I asked Luis Enrique once who to compare you two, and he said that you were incomparable. Who would you compare yourself to? My idols have always been, I've said a lot, Iniesta and Verratti. I try and be the same kind of player always.
100% de festividad, primera final, primer MVP, primer título, encima contra el Real Madrid. La sensación que nos daba desde fuera es que...
The feeling from outside is that this was a game you dominated. It was your game. On the pitch, did you feel that was the way? I think we dominated a lot. There were moments in which we suffered a bit. The coach planned the game very well, and we were really clear about what we had to do.
Excellent on the pitch. Brief in the press room. Gavi, our candidate for man of the match. Right, let's go back to the King Fahd Stadium one last time with Bruno Ballester. Give us your votes for man of the match, Bruno.
Well, celebrations continues here at the King Fahd Stadium, but well, we will have to leave shortly because there is a plane waiting us on Riyadh's airport because the team are going to travel back to Barcelona this midnight and will arrive on Monday morning to Barcelona. So before leaving you guys, man of the match, I'm going to give 1 point to Frenkie de Jong. Has been incredible in defensive tasks, also in attack, and key player in that second goal, recovering that ball. 2 points for Pedri, another incredible night for the Magician. And the 3 points man of the match today goes for Gavi. Incredible match for Gavi with goals, assists. I mean, what a performance for Gavi, 18 years old, winning his first title as a professional player today. Was one of the happiest players in celebrations. So the man of the match goes for Gavi, the same actually that the organization has gave to the young midfielder. So I'm really sorry because I will stay here for hours and hours, guys. But yes, we have to leave to Riyadh airport. We have to come back to Barcelona with the trophy, with this Spanish Supercup. So well, has been a pleasure from here, guys. It's the first trophy for Barça of this 22-23 campaign. Hopefully, it's just the first one of many more titles.
And congratulations, Bruno, for breaking your jinx. He hadn't done very well in his travels with the first team so far. First title for Bruno as well, so congratulations for him. Spence, Irati, I think that the man of the match is going to be fairly unanimous here, but Spence, take us through your votes.
It is very clear to me that Gavi was the best player on the pitch. I think we can all agree on that, and it's a shame that we only get to pick 3 people because I think we'd all go with others as well. So Lewandowski gets my number 2 because he assisted the first one, scored the second, and that's all you can ask from a guy in that position trying to go quickly on the counter against Madrid. And I gave my 1 to Frenkie because the way that he moves in the midfield, he just has this sense that if he needs to go backwards, he will, kind of like the Busi roll, but he can also turn and just dart ahead of the defense very quickly, and that's what he did a couple of times tonight to create those chances.
Irati.
I also give my 3 points to Gavi. I think there was no doubt today of who was the best. I gave 2 points to Frenkie de Jong because I have the feeling that we're starting to see the best Frenkie de Jong with the Barca shirt. Like he didn't start maybe in the beige shape, but in this 2023, his games has been really good. And then 1 to Christensen. I wanted to choose Pedri, Balde, and everything, but I think we have to give credit to Christensen. He was highly criticized when he came here. Like people saw like, no, we took the bad defender from Chelsea and everything. And the last 2 matches he has done, he has been incredible. So I wanted to give some credit to him and 1 point for him.
I like that you point out that Christensen is doing very well. It's an overall point for all the matches that he's played since coming back from the World Cup break. My votes are all midfield today. I think that that's where Barca had the advantage. I think that that's where Barca outplayed Real Madrid. 3 for Gavi because, I mean, you score a goal, produce 2 assists in a final, that's going to give you MVP any time, any day of the year. But we saw him do just so much. I'm happy, once again, I'll repeat what I said before, that today we're not just talking about the courage of Gavi, of the warrior that is Gavi, of how he fought in the game, the energy that he brought. No, he brought the quality, he brought the passing, he brought the anticipating and winning the ball back quickly so that Barca could create opportunities. He produced the scoring as well. So today, probably the most complete performance that Xavi has had as a first-team player. 2 for Pedri, absolute magician, scored a goal, making things happen in midfield. For me, it was like a coin toss between Pedri and Frenkie de Jong, those 2 points and that 1 point, because they were both outstanding today, creating advantages, working in space, making runs forward, completely outplaying Luka Modric, Camavinga, Kroos, then Fede Valverde in the second half as well. Obviously, Real Madrid had an important absence in Tchouaméni, but still, I thought that Barca were outstanding today in midfield, and an honourable mention, of course, to Sergio Busquets as well.
I'd say just about everybody deserves a point today.
Yeah, it's a team one.
Ter Stegen had a couple of saves. Araujo was locking up Vinicius.
Yeah.
Like everyone played well.
Those are our points for man of the match, player of the match.
Shocker.
Gavi, the unanimous one here on Barca Live. Let us know your thoughts on the live chat. Is that fair? Frenkie de Jong 5 points, Pedri 4, Lewandowski 2, and Christensen 1. We're going to take one final look at the goals of this game. We're going to enjoy the 3 times that Barca put the ball past Thibaut Courtois.
This goal is incredible. like how it starts, because that pressure, I think, today made the difference, and then all the connections like were very fast, and in the moment they had to be like how they find the spaces, how Lewandowski turns there, and then Gavi. I don't think it's really easy that definition he does in front of Thibaut Courtois, because Courtois is quite a big guy, and also there was a defender coming out there, and just Gavi finds the only spot that was available over there.
That was Gavi's goal. The following would be Robert Lewandowski starting from behind. Christensen, Busquets. He has to stretch a little bit, but he manages to get the ball into Gavi in space. He takes it wide and sets up Lewandowski for the second. There was one thought that was just crossing my mind here, which is that Xavi has played Real Madrid 3 times as a Barca coach. One was the famous 4-0. Tonight is an important win in a final against them. It could have clearly been a 3-0. I think that token goal that Real Madrid got at the end, 1 should have been disallowed, and 2, it's an absolute shame that we weren't able to avoid it. And the other game, yes, Real Madrid were better than us in stretches, but it is also fair to say that that game was really tight at the end, and there were important chances for Ansu Fati, I remember, to equalise, and it could have easily been 2-2.
A potential penalty too.
The
potential penalty with Lewandowski.
Potential penalty with Lewandowski, Carvajal.
Hey, I got 2 words for you. March 19th. All right.
Mark that in the calendar.
That's the next one. I assume that's the day. I don't know how the La Liga schedule works with those, but I think the Clásico is like set, right?
Yeah.
Okay. March 19th then. I'll see you there.
We'll see you there. It's right before an international break as well. At the Spotify Camp Nou. We haven't done all that well at the Spotify Camp Nou against Real Madrid recently, so it would be nice to get a win against them then. We'll see what the situation is in La Liga. Right now we're 3 points ahead of them. An important match coming up on Sunday against Getafe. There'll be little time to celebrate this title.
Yeah, because it comes La Copa del Rey again, and it's those matches that you have to win, because otherwise you go home. I guess Xavi will do many chances in that game against Ceuta, but then we have La Liga, and it's that tight that it feels like you can never lose. Like there's no option to lose, because it's only 3 points ahead, right? Of Real Madrid. It's only 3 points, and then it's Real Sociedad with only 6 points ahead, so it's really tight, so the calendar doesn't give any space to...
It's the moments like this that I wish we still had Bruno, because I would want to know what the schedule is for Chavi and his men going forward for the next couple of days, because they're going to get in late Monday morning, essentially, because it's an 8-hour plane ride. And so they're not going to get a really good night's sleep on the plane. And then I'm imagining they're going to have Monday off, and then probably a little bit of a later start on Tuesday so that they can get some sleep. But the idea for the next 24 hours is you got to rest a little bit.
Definitely.
And also celebrate. I think it's important they celebrate to get
Not
that.
too hard. Don't party too hard. Because we do have Ceuta coming on Thursday. That's single game tie in the Copa del Rey. We know how dangerous those can be. We saw against Intercity, against the lower tier teams. Things can get complicated. We want to make it through to the next round of the Copa del Rey. And then 2 remaining games in La Liga in January. Sunday against Getafe at the Spotify Camp Nou, and then the Catalan derby against Girona, the last game of the month of January. We are going to go and listen to Xavi Hernandez in the press room in just a second. Spence, Hirati, final thoughts. One final positive thought on this first title in the Xavi era.
I think we said many times the era started, but I think it starts now with the first title, and I think it's the first of many.
We're going to have a wonderful another chapter of FC Barcelona, a new era to enjoy in about a year's time, I would imagine. I hope we get another season of that.
I hope so, indeed. Right, well, we're going to leave you and love you here. 3-1 to Barca. We beat Real Madrid in a final of the Supercopa, the first title of the Xavi era. Congratulations to all culés. Enjoy tonight. It's important. Yes, okay, the Spanish Supercopa is not the biggest of titles, but it's a trophy. So we want to celebrate it. We'll do it here at Barca Live, and hopefully we'll be able to come back to you pending circumstances here at Barca TV on Thursday and on Sunday. We'll leave you with the impressions, the words of our head coach, Xavi Hernandez, in the press room.
Bona nit.
Deia que havies pensat, s'ha executat perfectament. Per què han pesat tant avui els migcampistes i l'equip s'ha sentit tan còmode?
Why did the team feel so comfortable today and be so consistent? I'm really satisfied, really happy, because I'm really bothered about how we do things, and I think we played really well. We're not obviously completely satisfied in other games. Obviously, this is Barça, and you need confidence. I always think about how we do things. Xavi held up the ball well. I said Busquets, Pedri. In some aspects we have to play better, but it was an idea that I had that worked out to perfection. Since I've been here, from the start, all these players have been working at 100%. There have been a lot of criticisms, unfair criticism, I think, and I think today we're free from that. I think a lot of players have been freed from that, and this will give them a boost in morale, a lot of confidence, and they'll be a lot more calm. Beating Real Madrid the way that we did is really good. I think it's really good for Barcelona. We've had all sorts of situations in recent years. Leo Messi's departure was also really a big thing. I think we're creating a team that I hope has won the first title of many.
Xavi, aquí Marta Ramon en directe al Barça juga a RAC1. Felicitats pel títol.
Moltes gràcies.
Què significa per tu com a entrenador?
What does it mean for you as a coach, earning this first trophy for the team? And what importance do you give to this with the objectives you have ahead?
Bé, això dona molta tranquil·litat.
This gives us a lot of calm, a lot of confidence.
Sobretot perquè avui el que hem
Above all, because today the way we planned things worked out. It worked out excellently. We beat Real Madrid, dominating for almost the entire game. Maybe not so much in the second half, but in the first half we were great. When that happens, the team believe in what they're doing. I'm sure that the board will be happy. That gives us a boost in confidence, but we can't stop here. We need to keep working. I think that from day one we'll be working hard. We've said this many times. It's normal that there's criticism, but I always had the feeling, and I've spent a long time here, that things were going to go well. We've seen it from inside. You've seen the players. You've seen how players react to criticism. In the dressing room, we're all united. It had to work out, and it did work out.
Hola, Chavi. Aquí detrás, Luis Flaquer, en directo para el Carrusel Deportivo de la Cadena SER. Enhorabuena primero. Ya estás diciendo lo que puede significar para el equipo todo. Me permito el lujo de individualizar un poquito en la final. No sé cómo definirías la final.
How would you define the final that Xavi had today?
Bueno, Xavi es un chico que nos emociona.
Xavi is somebody who excites us all when you see him competing like that. He provides heart and character. That is contagious for the team. He's got great leadership, natural leadership that comes from within. He's got that confidence, that anger for football. It's spectacular. I've said it many times, but I don't think we should stop him. He's got no limits. This is your first trophy. Is this the start of an adventure? Is it all this at once? Well, I'll stick with this how we did it. The way we played, that really is important to me. Although people say that it doesn't, it's really important for me. It's a trophy won against Real Madrid, but we can't stop. I said yesterday, winning or losing isn't going to change things. But this one does give us confidence and a boost in morale. Above all, within, but internally, it gives us a lot of calm. I think the work paid off today.
de la cadena COPE, enhorabuena por el título, tu primer título en el Barça. Hemos visto cómo te abrazabas con Laporta sobre el terreno.
So how you hugged Joan Laporta after the game.
Intuyo que también en el vestuario. ¿Me puedes contar un poco cómo ha sido?
Can you tell us how the celebration was of the Supercopa? I didn't go into the dressing room apart from to get my phone. I've got a great relationship and friendship with the president. He's been really committed in this project. He's given us a lot of confidence from the start. I'm really happy for him and for the board. They were brave and they've really had a lot of confidence in this project, which wasn't easy, and things are working out at the moment. That doesn't mean anything more than a title, though. I'm very satisfied, but from there, we need to hope for more.
Raúl Fuentes de Radio Marca, enhorabuena por la victoria y el título. No sé si puede ser un punto de inflexión.
Could this be a turning point tonight with the way you won? Do you think the hunger of this side is the big key factor? Players like Balde and Gavi. Yes, we've got a really good generation coming through, and we've seen that hunger for trophies. We've gone a year and a half without a trophy, 3 with only 1 cup. I hope that it's a turning point. This will give us some calm, but on Thursday we've got to go to Ceuta and compete in the cup. And then on Sunday, Getafe. This keeps going, we can't stop now.
أنا دروان صحفي رياضي في قناة كورسات نيوز. ألف مبروك. كيف استطاع برشلونة حصد اللقب؟
Bueno, creo que hemos jugado muy bien, ¿no?
I think we played very good today.
Hemos jugado con 4
We
centrocampistas.
played with 4 central midfielders who were superior inside. We dominated the ball. We were good when we lost the ball and high pressing. The defence played very high up. We did things very, very well. We generated a lot of chances on goal. We defended very well against Real Madrid with Vinicius and Benzema. We didn't let them lose their marker. It was what we planned, and it all worked out perfectly. The players did an extraordinary job, and I'm really happy.
Hola Xavi, Jorge Agüero, buenas noches, felicidades.
Buenas noches.
Precisamente al hilo de lo que decías, bueno, se ha criticado mucho este
There's
equipo.
been a lot of criticism about this team for not killing games off. You've said it before.
Hoy ha sido, bueno, se ha ido ya ganando al descanso con claridad.
I say you're clear winners.
3-1. Ha sido este el ejemplo de partido
Has
perfecto.
this been an example of the perfect game you want? It's very close to what we want, yes. We want to watch the game again, and we'll correct things, but we're really happy. We're satisfied and happy with the performance of the players. The starting 11 were extraordinary, a really, really high level.
Hola, Xavi. Hola. Toni Joan Martí de Relevo, felicitats pel títol. Els 3 gols han arribat en transició ràpida.
The 3 goals came from fast transitions.
Avui en dia o és anecdòtic?
No, el futbol és molt ràpid. Avui
Football's really fast.
quan recuperem la pilota i a camp contrari doncs hem de jugar directes.
When you win the ball, you have to play upfield quickly.
A davant, no? Que és una gran referència, que gira el
Lewandowski's the big target man for us.
recupera Pedri i Pedri contacta, crec.
I think Pedri connected with Robert Lewandowski, and
S'ha treballat.
that was something we worked on.
S'ha passat un vídeo de que hem d'aprofitar més aquests moments.
There was a video to show that we need to make the most of this when Rafinha plays, when Dembele plays, when Memphis play. We have to make the most of it.
Futbol és això.
That's football.
Cada vegada és més dinàmic.
Football's more dynamic all the time and faster all the time. We need to make the most of that.
Bona nit, Xavi, pel Ballús, per Partit Atlètic, moltes felicitats per al títol.
Gràcies.
I pel partit com s'ha jugat. Et volia preguntar per això, amb el que ha passat, amb l'exhibició una mica que ha fet tot l'equip en aquest partit, creus que també és un missatge que es pot...
Do you think this game is
El dia és que no vagin tan bé les coses perquè pot passar encara...
a message that with these young players, lots of things can happen. We need to continue maturing. We need to fine-tune our way of playing. Everything worked out today, but it's been a difficult month. I said 2 months ago that Barça lost to Bayern and the fans were still behind us. We need to calm. We're a team under construction. This is a really important trophy for the entire project.
Hola Xavi, Roger Torelló del Mundo Deportivo. Felicitats pel títol.
Gràcies.
Tu has guanyat 25 títols.
You won 25 trophies as a coach. Where do you rank this as your of your achievements?
No crec que arribem a 25. Bueno, mai se sap.
I don't think I'll get to 25 as a coach, but I'm happy. Well, this gives us calm to the fans, to the coaching staff, to the players, who are the most important. And from here on, we need to keep guiding the players, because today we showed that against Madrid, league champions and European champions, if we can have a game like this. That's the level we need to keep up. I'm very happy. It gives us calm. I'm really happy.
Congratulations, Chavi.
Thank you.
I learned Spanish to say a message for you. Eres el mejor jugador de la historia.
Too much.
No, for me, this, and for, I think, more fans of Barcelona.
Thank you so much. You understand football.
Yes. Also, I will ask about Saudi fans here. This first champion, and you have experience about Saudi.
Yeah.
So, what's your message for fans Barcelona in stadium and Saudi Arabia?
Yes, always is a good atmosphere. I have good memories here with against Al Nassr, against Al Hilal, and always the environment here it's amazing. So very happy for Saudi fans, especially Barça fans. So very happy, they support us a lot today. Shukran.
Última pregunta, last question. Sí, aquí detrás, justo aquí detrás. Sí.
Segunda o tercera.
Muy bien.
Sí, sí, sí.
Muy bien.
Sí, sí. Aquí, él. Sí. Sí.
I will speak in Arabic. سعد السبيعي صحيفة اليوم. أول شيء مبروك البطولة لك الأولى كابتن شافي في السعودية. أنا سؤالي مباشرة، أنت حققت بطولات كثير مع برشلونة كلاعب، البطولة الأولى لك كمدرب، كيف كان الشعور مختلف في هذه البطولة؟ وش اللي بيبقى في ذاكرتك مستقبلا، خصوصا البطولة هذه في المملكة العربية السعودية؟
Bueno, me va a quedar para toda la vida, ¿no? Mi primer.
I'll remember this forever. It's my first trophy for Barca, and it's a real honour for me to coach Barca. It's I'm really fortunate to be here as the coach and to be able to help these players and to guide them to earn more trophies. I only hope that this isn't the last.
Gracias. Venimos a continuación con Gavi, MVP del partido.